It's CityLine, and it's makeover madness. Think before you ink. If you've lived to regret that tattoo, there's now groundbreaking help with removal.
Tattoo removal is just the pain of freezing, okay? Other than the pain of realization you did something so stupid when you were young.
Coming up, want to get rid of that tattoo? We show you the process.
Steve Mulholland is joining us now because we are going to talk about something that is so prevalent. It's tattoos, okay? Great strides have been made in the field of tattoo removal. So when our own floor director, J.C. Chessel, decided to get rid of hers, we tracked her progress at SpaMedica.
I started getting tattoos when I was 16 years old. And at 16, of course, I thought I was making the best decisions for my life. 20 years later, I'm left with tattoos I neither want nor like in any way, and the fact that I can get them removed, that they're not a permanent part of my life, is fantastic. The tattoo on my arm is of the outline of a moon and a compass rose. On the leg, it is actually a lotus flower that's on fire, which makes that no sense if you know anything about lotus flowers. But at the time, hey, it was, you know, the best idea I had at 16.
Tattoo removal is one of the fastest growing segments of the cosmetic aesthetic market. Laser tattoo removal is the highly evolved science of removing selectively that tattoo pigment from our skin. We use a special kind of laser, the picoshare in this case, to shatter the tattoo pigment into billions of grains of sand that our body easily removes naturally through our own immune defense systems. Well, laser tattoo removal has generally been marked by it works, but it would be once every 6 weeks, 8 to 16 treatments, 2 to 3 years to get 75 to 80% reduction. So it was maybe like one night, a bottle of Jack Daniels and $200 to get it on, and 2 years and $2,000 to get it off. Now we can offer patients 3 to 6 treatments. That means in 6 months, you can have 90% reduction of this tattoo. So most patients are excited to move forward, but they have to understand there's going to be some downtime where it's going to look crusty for about a week, like you fell off your bike when you were a kid, and don't pick it, just cover it. And then the scab comes off and you have new epithelium underneath, and you look at it and wow, the first time it's often 20, 25, 30% reduced. And then each treatment thereafter is between 10 and 15% reduced. After 3 to 6 treatments, you get your final result.
Is pretty dramatic when you look at how much it went away. So Dr. Mulholland joins us now live in studio. Great work. Just to get a sense of how prevalent this whole getting inked up is, 1 in 5 U.S. and Canadian adults between 25 and 45 have tattoos. That's 50 million people.
It's pretty shocking. 50 million people. For the first time in recorded history, there's more women than men, so 69% are women now.
Well, it's become so mainstream. I mean, it used to be the thing that military men or soldiers did or sailors. And now it's, you know, 1 in 5 people, every 5th person walking down the street has a tattoo. So your business is going to go through the roof. Because, of course, people are going and getting tattoos and they might not be thinking about how they feel about that image, you know, 20 years later, right?
Yeah, you're making a permanent change in your skin. Mm-hmm. You're generally doing it when you're younger, and you think, you know, back when I was younger, we wore bell bottoms and high heels and all went away.
Right.
The decisions now that young people make, this is a lifelong decision on your skin, usually doesn't work out. So there's a 30% regret factor within 1 week.
Oh, within a week?
Yeah, 30%.
Yeah, don't get your boyfriend's name on, don't do that. If you're 16, 17, 18, I don't know, even 35, don't get their name, okay? Tattooed on you. Let's talk a little bit about how that laser works, because you see it working in the video. Mm-hmm. What's happening there? Well,
the picoshare is a very high-tech laser. It sends little bundles of energy, light energy, into the skin, bypassing the skin and shattering through a photoacoustic effect, the tattoo into tiny, tiny little particles your body can carry away. Yeah. The older generation of lasers didn't shatter them and quite so, maybe took the rock and turned it into pebbles. Now we turn to grain of sand. And so in the old days, it would take 16 treatments in 2 years to get 70% reduction. Now it's 6 treatments, 6 months for 90% reduction, and it's really transformed what we can do.
Do you think that the innovation is going to keep getting better and it'll be even quicker to get them removed?
Yeah, the industry is looking at different types of tattoo inks that do go away.
Yes.
And then the laser's only going to get better.
Right. Okay, very interesting. So before it was really difficult to get the colors. So the reds and the oranges, that has also come a long way, hasn't it?
Yeah, so now the PicoSure uses targeted kinds of light, a certain wavelength for the reds and the oranges, which were traditionally very difficult. So you'd have a tattoo like a Rolling Stones tattoo, and all that's left is the tongue. Well, that doesn't look very good. And so now we can get rid of the reds and the oranges, the blacks, the greens, the yellows, and the blues by using different PicoSure wavelengths.
Okay, well, JC, our floor director, actually had a lot of color in her tattoo. So, JC, I got to ask you this for everyone that's thinking this at home. What hurts more? Did it hurt more getting them put on, or did it hurt more getting them taken off? What do you think?
Definitely getting them removed hurt a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a baby with it. I don't know why I got tattoos. They hurt me to begin with, but definitely getting it removed was a lot worse.
You know what? You're not a baby at all, because she would come into the office after her tattoo removal, and we would look at it, and we'd be like, oh my God, does it hurt? Because it does, it goes to that, you know, it turns into that scab thing. But then it completely goes away, which is so incredible. I think there are a lot of people that are going to be taking you up on this. Let's talk a bit about price.
Sure. Well, first, with the pain, we always use a little bit of local anesthesia. So let's say you go into a dental office. You would never want a root canal without freezing.
Right.
So you would never get your big tattoo removal without a little bit of freezing. So the freezing hurts a little bit, and then JC would confirm this, is painless. Once the freezing's in, there's no pain.
Oh, so it's the freezing that hurts.
Yeah, so you just have to put a little bit of freezing. We're very good at that now. And so tattoo removal is just the pain of freezing, okay? Other than the pain of realization you did something so stupid when you were young. And then the next is cost. Because we've gone from 16 treatments to 6 treatments, it's a fraction of what it used to cost. And so depending, let's say the average tattoo that we see is the size of the palm of your hand or smaller, that would cost $300-400 times 6 treatments. So it's still expensive, but it's a fraction of what it used to cost. And we can usually get 90% plus removals. So, you know, you can really remove all evidence and trace of what you had put on your skin. We can also treat darker skin now.
Yeah, so let's talk about this, because there used to be some difficulty treating different skin colors. So black skin, if you want to get a black tattoo on black skin or a colored tattoo on black skin, you can get it removed.
Yeah, so Asian, Hispanic, Caribbean skin, we now again have different PicoSure wavelengths, just like hair removal. Remember, we've done shows where when you had dark skin, you didn't be able to do hair removal before, but now we can do hair removal on light skin and dark skin. We can do tattoo removal on dark skin and light skin with different wavelengths of light.
That is very cool. And it's not any more difficult?
It's a little trickier on darker skin, but generally the tattoos tend to be dark on dark rather than, you know, the bright reds and yellows and greens. So the tattoos get easier even though the skin is darker.
Okay. The moral of the story: think very carefully before you get that ink, but if you do get the boyfriend's name, just go to Dr. Mulholland, okay?
Yep.
He'll take care of it.
Or make sure your relationship lasts more than 6 months.
There you go. That's what you have to do. Steve has actually brought down a SpaMedica goodie bag for everyone in today's audience. That's awesome. I'm going to tell you what you're getting. You're going to take home a TNS Lip Plumper skincare products, a gift certificate, and a cosmetic bag. Thank you so much for that, Steve, and thanks, JC. Let's go to break. More coming up. Stay with us. Very interesting.
Coming up, regretting that tattoo?
I'm actually pretty excited about this. I love it so far. Yes. So you want people to go get tattoos that you don't like, so you come into you so you can remove them.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, here to tell us about the latest in tattoo removal is plastic surgeon Dr. Zell Krajden.
Welcome to the show, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Good to see you, as always.
Great seeing you.
You know what? Tattoos obviously have been around for a long time. Very, very hot trend right now. But tattoo removal is becoming a hot trend. People are really doing it a lot more.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the demographic has totally changed. A generation ago, tattoos were sailors, war veterans. Now it's pretty much every 35-year-old mom getting one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's the best removal for a tattoo?
In general, it's always been lasers. And lasers is a huge umbrella term. Some of the older style lasers worked well, but you needed 10, 15, 20 treatments.
Really? Wow.
With only about 50% removal. So they worked reasonably well, but there was nothing really magical about them.
So all they could do is just sort of fade it away, but not remove it.
Exactly. Faded them, and with a lot of treatments and a lot of visits for someone.
And would that be a lot of pain for someone, or was it painless?
It's more pain, but it was more the nuisance. You want to go to someone's office 5 times, no problem. You're going 15 times. It really interferes with your schedule.
Too much. And it just ends up looking messier than it did before, I'm sure.
It could in some cases.
Yeah, okay.
Now,
so
you've got a little video of a procedure. What's the name of the procedure first?
It's called PicoSure. It's a new type of laser that we've brought in at SpaMedica in the past 6-7 months.
Okay.
And here's so talk us through what's happening.
Someone's sitting here. If it's a small area, numbing cream, large area, we freeze it.
Okay.
More or less what I'm doing is zapping down the skin. With PicoSure, it uses a billionth of a second photoacoustic wave to break down, almost explode the pigmentation within the dermal layer of the skin.
Now, that looks like it hurts. Does it hurt?
It's really not too bad. Women who've had laser hair removal will describe it as that sensation.
Yeah.
A lot of my male patients, about 30-40%, describe it as an elastic band, a snapping sensation.
Snap and feel. It almost sounds like it looks like it would sound
Uncomfortable, yes. Painful, no.
Okay.
And how many treatments are we looking at to remove?
That's the hugest advantage. You're looking at between 4 and 6 treatments, which compared to the older treatments of 12 and 16, and getting about 70 to 90% removal.
Which is amazing.
Huge difference.
And
definitely.
sometimes you have those dark and intense tattoos that can be very, very effective for you.
So with this technique with PicoSure, it works much better for blacks and for greens, and for those funky colors like whites and golds.
Yeah. So let's talk about skin colors. Is it for all skin types?
It can be used for all skin types, but as a caveat, as a physician, I tell people, you know, your type 1 and 2 skin is very white, pasty skin like mine, pretty safe. You get into darker skin tones, Mediterranean skin tones, you do have to be a little bit more careful about who treats you, how they treat you, and the depth of the wavelength.
Now, is it new? Is this like fresh off the market?
PicoSure is new in the past 6 months, yes.
Okay,
and in 6 months, have you seen a lot of people come in and start trying this particular style?
In my practice, my patients have been people who've gone elsewhere, they've tried 5-6 treatments, they've wasted a good amount of time, a good amount of money, and it's barely faded.
Wow, and you've got some before and after photos.
We
I
have
want
a
to
few
see
to look
those,
at.
which are pretty awesome.
Okay, so this is
so what's happening here?
This would be a good example. Here's someone's tattoo. Old sailor tattoo. That was my analogy.
So faded, it just, you don't even know what it is.
It's been treated 5-6 times. As you guys mentioned, it's now almost worse. It's kind of blended in.
Right.
Here's it right after the treatment. As it gets this white frosted look.
What's happening there? Why is it getting that white frosty
The best way to describe it is here's the pigmentation. It explodes. The skin flakes off with a bit of a frost, almost like a partial thickness burn, like a little blistering burn.
Right.
And that is after one treatment. You already have some good fading after that one treatment.
Yeah.
The furthest picture on the right here is after 6 treatments.
And this is considered completely gone or 90%?
You know, the photograph, it does look 100% gone. In person, it's 80 to 90%. But it's faded enough that they can wear their sleeves up. It's not noticeable. If they want, they could re-tattoo something nicer on top of it.
So they can actually a tattoo on top of the removal.
Oh, definitely.
Again, like something if it was hideous or a girlfriend's name that she doesn't like anyway and he's got a new girlfriend.
Sure, I mean, I have one.
Barb is now Sally and he needs to change it to Sally.
Whatever he like. Or Sal, just shorten it.
Oh, you know? Yeah, it could be Sal.
I have one guy on the go now. He has multiple tattoos on his chest, and him and his tattoo artist have come with me with a new plan. I'm fading away some of it, kind of around, and they're going to tattoo around it to make it look a little bit nicer. So you can do things like that to play around.
And this one here, it's literally gone.
This is great. I mean, but this is your perfect patient where it's white skin, one pigment, one color. They came in 3 months after the treatment. They had true tattoo regret, and this is your ideal result. This is your best case scenario.
So why is light skin actually better?
You want a differentiation between your native skin color versus dark tattoo. So white skin, dark tattoo, great.
And this one here, it says a pretty colorful tattoo.
Exactly.
So you're saying colors are pretty good as well.
They can be challenging. There's so many different levels of the skin, and the wavelengths can't attack each skin color exactly and each tattoo pigment exactly. So for the reds, I'm still using the older machines for my reds. I find this PicoSure is great, except for for reds. I'll treat someone, all gone, 5 treatments, everyone's happy, but you see these red dots. I bring in the old laser and try and get rid of the reds with that.
And what are the costs for these?
It depends on size. Just like with designing, it's all by square footage. How big is your bathroom? How big is your tattoo? Small area, $300. Large area can go up to $500, $800, depending on how much space we need to do.
Okay, and there's any risks involved, or is it pretty well?
Minor pain, minor bleeding. The next day you can shower, wash your skin, put makeup on it, go right back to work.
Wow, wow, wow.
Okay, so you've done a lot. So you've been doing a lot of these, and you're actually pretty excited about this,
I love it so far, yes.
So you want people to go get tattoos that you don't like, so you can come into you, so you can remove them.
Except on your face.
Enjoy it.
Just on your back.
Don't do it on your face.
Not on your face.
Just do it on your butt.
Exactly.
That's right. Well, great to see you. Thanks so much for being
That is
here.
fantastic. So there's some great options if you have a tattoo you don't like.
This is amazing, though. This is going to revolutionize the confidence to go out and do it. Because you're going to know down the road you can get rid of it. So that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Welcome to the morning show. Canada's Conversation starts now.
So this is, we're doing a segment at 8:40 about tattoo removal, which I have said over and over again that 2 places I think I should invest my money, anybody should, is pot and tattoo removal. These are both
growing industries,
going to be booming industries.
You're right.
So we're gonna actually talk about where it's progressed to and do a little demonstration later. But so the most first of all, who present has a tattoo?
Don't have one.
I do.
Yeah.
Don't.
But you don't regret yours?
No.
No.
Because it's, I've had it since I was 18, so it doesn't even register on my, although my 5-year-old showers with me, and she'll sometimes try to wash it off.
What's something on your mom?
What's that?
There. It's extra permanent marker.
That's going nowhere.
I kept a journal, you know, maybe starting when I was like, I don't know, my early teens, you know, you're really sappy and stuff, and I feel like a tattoo is a little bit like that. It's like reading your old journal and going,
yeah, it's cringy. You're like, I'm glad I only got one, because I thought about, in my 20s, still thinking about, like, I'm a Pisces, I should get fish going around my belly button. No. Thing, and I was close.
You're close. So, it represents such a time in your life.
Yeah, they have a list of the most regrettable tattoos. Names is #1.
Yeah,
that's probably the most famous.
Johnny Depp.
One.
Yeah. Winona Forever. That was his girlfriend, Winona Ryder, way back in the 90s. They seemed inseparable, and then guess what? They broke up. And then he got it changed to Wino Forever.
Wino Forever, which was actually kind of smart. Hearts/roses on your chest. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's the barbed wire.
Your arm,
It's like anything tribal or barbed wire around your arm.
Right.
Especially if you have like no tribal roots whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
It's sort of when people get the Chinese characters and they have no Chinese roots.
Yeah,
but do you even know what that's?
Yeah. Can you read that? A dolphin anywhere.
A dolphin.
Is on this list. One of my girls, I think, because I went with, I actually went with 2 other girlfriends when I did this, and then my mom decided she was going to get a tattoo, a little tiny peace sign she got, and another one of my girlfriends went with her.
Okay.
Hi, Kitchener. And that girlfriend got a whale that kind of looks more like a dolphin.
Like a dolphin.
Yeah. So she falls into that. Flower on your ankle. Yeah, almost did that.
Yeah.
Hard or rough-looking neck tattoos or anything on your face.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that one is like.
Yeah, there we go. That's
although sometimes I do respect when they make a full commitment. You know, that's a full commitment. You're in, or I like the arms, what they call it, sleeve for the guys.
Yeah, tattoo.
I do like it.
Right. I just have a regret that I don't have a tattoo. I wish I got a tattoo one of the Olympics that I attended, like maybe the 1996 Olympics. I can, but I regret that I didn't do it at that moment.
yeah.
You know what I mean? At that time. But I was just way too focused on running. I was like, wait, tattoo might slow me down. And you know,
but that's the double-edged sword of a tattoo, is that it represents such a specific time in your
Sometimes,
life, right?
You know?
And if you're like emo when you're in your 20s and then you get over it, it's just to keep looking at that.
It doesn't work anymore.
Good morning. We have the new PicoSure tattoo removal laser today. It works by a trillionth of a second to break down tattoos, help it go away within 3 to 5 treatments. If you look right here on lovely Jennifer, light skin, and a standard black, gray, green tattoo. We're going to start treating this today and start getting rid of these tattoos right away. So here I am with the PicoSure laser. We're going to start adjusting the parameters for the optimal tattoo treatment. We're going to increase the speed as we go, and we're going to change the fluence or the energy upwards and increase the spot size for the optimal treatment. For each treatment, we customize it to the patient's skin type, the type of tattoo, color tattoo, and the anatomic area. As we get this started, we're going to start going. So now that we have everything optimized, the parameters are set on our laser here, we've measured the tattoo, looked at the pigmentation, we're ready to start. Jennifer has already had her patient anesthesia, so she's frozen the area. We'll feel minimal to no pain. What I'm going to do is start breaking it down in this area. What the PicoSure does is by the trillionth of a second, it helps to break down the fragments and start to treat it. If you look carefully here, look how that's frosting over. Right in front of our eyes, the PicoSure laser that we have here at SpaMedica is getting rid of Jen's tattoo. She's had it for 12 years, she hates it, her boyfriend hates it, her mother hates it, and here in a matter of seconds, we're getting rid of it. As I said, treatments vary from between 5 and 20 minutes. Cost will vary on the complexity and size of the tattoo, and a number of treatments will depend again on the size of the tattoo, but we're looking usually at between 3 and 5 treatments. So there's one pass. Take a close look. You can see here, we've gotten rid of the darkest areas, feathered around. There's a little bit of redness, which shows her immune system breaking it down. Jen, did that hurt at all for you?
Nope.
Wonderful. So just 10 minutes later, we're fully done. What we're gonna get is a little small Band-Aid, polysporin, light bandage, right on Jen's neck and shoulders. She can take this off tomorrow morning, shower, back to activities, gym, exercise. I'll see her back in 4 to 6 weeks, see how everything is healed, get her ready for her second treatment, and at that point we can plan for further treatments if needed. Let's look at some before and afters to see people after their course of treatments to really see the results in their totality.
Good morning, everybody. You are watching the morning show here on Global. I'm Liza Fromer. Thanks for being with us. Well, earlier in the show, we told you more and more people are regretting their tattoos. The good news, you're not stuck with them. Dr. Zal Krashen is here. He's the medical director at SpaMedica, and he joins us now to show us how you can get rid of the unwanted ink. Good morning.
How are you?
So good. I have a tattoo that I'm okay with for now, but I'm glad to hear that.
For now.
We're making progress. These stats, approximately $10 million is spent per year in Canada on tattoo removal, almost $100 million in the U.S.
At least, and that's actually 08-09 numbers. It's even higher now. It's grown about 40 to 50% even since those data were published.
Holy smokes. Okay, Sophia, welcome.
Hi.
Hi. So you have a tattoo.
I do.
And that is what? What is your little tattoo?
It's a little gecko.
It's a little gecko. It looks like it's kind of, how old is it?
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
So it's kind of all bled together a bit. And you've just decided you don't want it.
Yeah.
So how do we go about getting rid of that?
So Sophia comes to the clinic. We take a brief 5-minute history, age of the tattoo, how it was done. Her story is a bit different. She's a brave soul who actually did this to herself. She did her own tattooing.
Yes,
so you
I
get
did.
the information about the type of ink, the color of ink. Once we do that, we do a basic skin test of her skin tone, and then we look at different wavelengths of laser we can use to help break down that tattoo and get rid of it.
So this is the machine?
Exactly. This is one of our machines. At SpaMedica, we have different wavelengths, different devices we can use. One is called the PicoSure. It's the newest technology. We've had it for about 15 months. This is the rev light that works well for some of the older colors, for oranges, for red. So essentially we use different wavelengths for different types of tattoos, different skin types, and how deep the ink is actually penetrated into the dermis or the skin layer.
Okay, so this guy is pretty small.
Exactly.
But very dark. So
yes.
What would the process be here?
So she'd come into the clinic. We use 3 different kinds of freezing. One is a topical ointment that freezes the superficial epidermis. One is an air cooling device that actually numbs the skin. And the third, for painful or large areas, I actually take a needle and freeze the entire area. As a surgeon, I'm very happy to freeze the entire area. And once it's done, there's no pain at all.
You haven't had any of this done yet, is that correct?
No, not yet.
No, but that you must be relieved. That
yes, there's some numbing or
yeah, there are different gradations of options to make it, from slightly discomfort to no pain at all, depending on the patient's preference and, again, the location of the tattoo.
Okay, and how long does it take when you're sitting on the table, and then how long in total for it to be gone?
Small tattoo like this would take me about 15 to 20 minutes to treat. I do between 4 and 6 different treatments, about 6 to 8 weeks apart. So essentially within 6 months, she can get rid of the tattoo. With the older technologies, it was between 10 and 16 treatments.
Is that what we're seeing right
Exactly.
now?
So that's a video of me using the PicoSure. You can see that as I'm etching over the area, you can see it frosting. So the epidermal or superficial layer of the tattoo is actually gone. It's being ghosted away. And all you're left with is a deeper pigment that I'll get at the later treatments and or with different devices.
So will you still see anything left over?
After the first few treatments, definitely. Again, it takes between 4 and 6 treatments to get about 90% reduction.
Yeah.
So you will see it fade, incrementally as you go. If there's anything left over, what's called ghosting or whiteness, there's different tattoos that we can do to try and target that. But again, you're looking at about 80 to 90% reduction between 4 and 6 treatments with the PicoSure device.
And for the first time in history as well, 69% of people getting tattoos are women.
Yes.
Outpacing men for the first time.
Yes, exactly. So it's a totally different demographic than it was 40 years ago when it was, sailors and different people like that.
Right. So the pigment of the skin, once you're completely done, will just pretty much blend back in.
You may end up with a little bit of a bruising effect where it's slightly darker.
Yeah.
The odd person gets some white ghosting, but it's a huge improvement compared to what you have.
Right. And how much on a scale of 1 to 10 does this bother you? It must bother you pretty significantly.
Yeah, I want to get it removed.
Right. What is it about it? Just feel like it's unsightly, or?
Well, it's not very good. I did it myself, so,
Right. And does it make you self-conscious?
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's just nice to get removed now that we can do that.
Absolutely.
And the other thing that I'll do for people, I'll often do even 2 or 3 treatments, get 50% reduction, and they can over-tattoo. They'll go back to a good, high-quality tattoo parlor. They'll work with what they have left and use that as part of a new, nicer, higher quality tattoo.
Right.
So we can do that as well.
Does this work for any skin tone? Because I know with laser hair removal,
For sure.
if you have darker skin, it's not going to work the same way.
For sure. I mean, as a physician, you always have to be cognizant of risk versus benefit, and skin tone is part of that equation. So essentially, when someone comes in with a darker skin tone, I'm more conservative. I'll do slower treatments and counsel them on pigmentation afterwards, sun exposure, things like that. So you do have to be aware of that.
Right. And expense now, is it getting more or less expensive?
The pricing is pretty much the same, and it really goes by size. Small tattoo, about $400 per treatment. Large area, about $7 per treatment. And, whole sleeve, that'd be more of a custom pricing issue.
A whole sleeve. I can't even imagine if all of a sudden. Are there any risks involved with this?
Small, pain for the first few days, a little bit of blistering and redness. You can't have any sun exposure. Again, you're looking at about 90% reduction, so there often is some residual pigmentation or what's called ghosting or whiteness. But again, the amount of improvement that you're getting is tremendous.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, and best of luck with it. Appreciate it. Dr. Zell Crashton from SpaMedica. Nice talking to you. Good to see you.
Always.
Thanks. Gonna take a break. We'll be right back.